Mahatma Gandhi was leading his freedom movement, and there are some wonderful freedom fighters still here in this hall. When Gandhi was leading the freedom movement, people said he's a wonderful man. Why is he such a wonderful man? Because he neglects his children. He does not give any importance to his sons. He does not give any importance to his wife. And he only works for India. He's interested in all the children, all the women, all the men of India. Such a wonderful man that he is, you might say, neglecting his family. But now Dr. Ghafoor says that he is inviting all the members of the Gandhi family here so that the members of the Gandhi family can do the work they should do for India. So Gandhi was great because he sidelined his family, but now to help India, the Gandhi family must do all the work. Is this fair? Is this fair? You praised Mahatma because he sidelined his family, but now you want the family to do the work of rescuing Indian democracy. Wonderful. Let me also say this, that for somebody like me, who spends a lot of time in North India, who also spends a lot of time teaching in the United States, when I come to Kerala, it is like a breath of fresh air. Why is it a breath of fresh air? Because here you have Hindus and Muslims and Christians and agnostics, all living with mutual respect, all believing in equality, showing an example to the whole world, all believing in democracy, all writing cartoons about others, all freely criticizing others. You believe in free speech. You believe in respect, but you also believe in dissent. You believe in criticism. You believe in free speech, and you have all the different communities living together. It is fantastic. So no wonder people are expecting that from Kerala. You know, they say light comes from the east, but maybe in the coming decades, light will come from the south for the whole of India. We are talking about Gandhi 150. Let us think of Gandhi's contemporaries in the world. There was a famous contemporary called Winston Churchill. There was another famous contemporary called Franklin Delano Roosevelt. They were about the same age as Gandhi. Do we hear of Churchill 150 being celebrated all over the world? Do we hear of Roosevelt 150 celebrated all over the world? Why is Gandhi 150 celebrated all over the world? I have nothing against Churchill and Roosevelt. As a historian, I know that these two did some remarkable things. Some very great things. Gandhi himself said that Churchill saved the British Empire in World War II. Roosevelt did amazing things. But why is it that the whole world today observes Gandhi 150 when it is not so active in observing Churchill 150 or Roosevelt 150? There was something very special, very unusual about Gandhi. So when we ask whether Gandhi is relevant or not, this very fact should be enough for us. The world is observing Gandhi 150. Yes, many in India are attacking him. So if you attack somebody, does it show that he is irrelevant? Do you attack somebody who is making no impact? If people wish to attack Gandhi, it is because he is making an impact 70 years after his death. Now, before I speak further about some aspects of Gandhi's life, I want to make some general points because, if we are to save India and Indian democracy, if we are to save equality in India, and we know of the latest attack on equality, the so-called CAB, a shameful attack on equality, which I believe and I hope the Supreme Court will strike down. What were some of Gandhi's basic beliefs? Yes, we have heard of Satya, we have heard of Satyagraha, we have heard of Ahimsa. These are tremendous words and concepts associated with Gandhi. But I want to refer to two beliefs of his which are immediately relevant to India today. One was his basic belief about nationality and citizenship. As far back as 1909, when he wrote his Hind Swaraj. Now, 1909 was 6 years before Gandhi returned to India from South Africa. That is when he wrote his famous book, Hind Swaraj. And in his Hind Swaraj, he was categorical. He said, in no country does nationality and religions synonymous. In no country, he said, nationality and religion are synonymous. To Gandhi, nationality or citizenship was a matter of where you were born or of where you were living. Even if you were not born in South Africa, as Gandhi was not born in South Africa, people of Indian origin had rights in South Africa because they were living there. They were contributing to the society there. They were contributing to the economy there. So Gandhi fought for the rights of Indians in South Africa. So the right of a resident, of a citizen, did not depend on race, did not depend on religion. It depended on just two things. Were you born in a particular place, or are you living in a particular place? Birth and residence are the foundation of citizenship, according to Gandhi. Gandhi gave his arguments. He said that in India, among the Hindus, the devotees of Shiva and the devotees of Vishnu often have arguments, very strong arguments. And he said there are many proverbs among the people, proverbs against the devotees of Shiva or proverbs against the devotees of Vishnu. So Gandhi said, there are these proverbs, there are these divisions, but are the devotees of Vishnu and the devotees of Shiva members of two different nations? Of course not. Similarly, he said there are many Jains in India. And the Jain religion is different from the Vedic religion. And there are many arguments between the followers of the Vedic religion and the followers of Jainism. But are followers of Jainism and the followers of the Vedic belief members of two different nations? Similarly, said Gandhi, Hindus live here, Muslims live here, Christians live here. You cannot say that Hindus and Muslims and Christians are members of different nations. Religion and nationality are two completely separate things, said Gandhi. This was his absolute conviction. Not towards the end of his life, but even before he returned to India from South Africa. And another very key thought of Gandhi, which was articulated in that wonderful prayer song which those three women kindly offered to us. Ishwar Allah Tero Naam. 4 words, Ishwar Allah Tero Naam. Those 4 words are the key to unity, friendship, mutual respect, not only in India, but in the subcontinent and in fact in the world. We call our grandparents by different names. In Kerala, you probably call your grandmother by one name, your mother's mother, your father's mother by another name. Others in different parts of Kerala itself may use other names to address grandmother. People in other parts of India use different names to address grandmothers. But the grandmother is the same. Whatever name you give to your grandmother, grandfather, mother, father, the father, the mother, the grandmother, the grandfather remain the same. And the same is true of the Almighty. We may call the Almighty by different names. Some may use the name Ram. Some may use the name Krishna. Some may use the name Rahim or Kareem or Allah or Khuda or Jehovah or Lord God, the Father of Jesus Christ. Whatever the name we give, it is the same person we are praying to, the same person we are invoking, the same person we are appealing to. And some of you may know how Gandhi got this idea. When he was a very young man, 27 years old, he was taking his family to South Africa, where he was starting a new life as a young man. And it was a small ship in which his family were traveling. And the ship ran into a storm not far from South Africa. And people thought that this was the end. And Gandhi was trying to help the captain of the ship to bring some order, some discipline into these very troubled passengers. But Gandhi found that all the passengers, they were Muslims, they were Hindus, they were Christians, they were Parsis, going from India to South Africa. Each of them was appealing to God in their own language, using their own different names. Every prayer was so sincere, every prayer came from the heart. They were all appealing to the same Almighty. So this was a very strong proof to Gandhi, young Gandhi, that whatever name we may give to the Almighty, we are appealing to the same Almighty. Ishwar Allah Tero Naam. Now, today some of the Hindutva champions, they very seldom appeal to the Almighty. They invoke historical figures. And they use religion. But they very seldom say, "Oh God, please help us." They say, "We want to bring the Rama temple, raise the Rama temple in Ayodhya." But they very rarely say, "Oh Ram, oh God, please help India. We have problems, we have famine, we have divisions, we have corruption, we have weaknesses, we have rape, we have crime. Please help this country." Do we hear them pray to the Almighty? Do we hear them praying to Rama, to Krishna, to Shiva, to Vishnu? No. We will make political use of religious words, of religious stories, of names associated with religion. So this is also something which differentiates Gandhi's Hinduism from the Hindutva that we see today. And that is where this very simple four-word concept, Ishwar Allah Tero Naam, is something we could remember. Now, what did Gandhi achieve in India? People say he led the freedom movement. Gandhi brought us freedom, people say. And Subhash Bose, who had his own separate approach to the freedom movement, who did not mind seeking the aid of Germany, Hitler's Germany. He did not mind seeking the aid of Japan, militarist Japan, for India's freedom. He was in Rangoon when the Japanese were controlling Burma, and Subhash Bose, in a radio speech from Rangoon, addressed to Gandhi, called him Father of the Nation. Do you know that the first person to use the phrase father of the nation for Gandhi was Subhash Chandra Bose. Father of the nation, the leader of India's independence movement. But in my assessment, I'm a simple historian. In my assessment, the political freedom of India was not Gandhi's greatest achievement. For one thing, so many people contributed to that freedom movement before Gandhi arrived on the scene. After Gandhi was on the scene, people had their own approach to the freedom movement. Moreover, world events helped India's freedom. The Second World War made it impossible for the British to hold on to India. The people in Britain were unwilling to continue to arrive in India as soldiers to keep India forcibly within the empire. World events might have brought freedom to India even if there was no Gandhi. So freedom of India was not Gandhi's greatest achievement. In my assessment, his greatest achievements were two. One, he committed free India to the service of the poor. He gave the new free India a tilt in favor of the poor. Now, India did not honor that commitment fully. Yes, there were many programs in government policies, state governments, central government, to uplift the poor. Many wonderful programs. But not enough, of course. Nonetheless, it's important to know that if Gandhi had not been there, a free India might not have been tilted towards the poor, even in name, let alone in practice. As Dr. Ghaffur mentioned earlier, Gandhi was the only leader of the freedom movement in any country in South Africa, Latin America, Asia, who had, after the success of the movement, refused to even consider being Prime Minister, President. In many countries, leaders of the freedom movement, occupying power, spend their time enriching themselves, enriching their family members, supporting their rich friends, their crony capitalist friends. There was no tilt in favor of the poor, but in India, thanks to Gandhi, there was a tilt in favor of the poor. That was, in my opinion, a tremendous achievement of Gandhi. And the second achievement was this. Consider the climate in which India became free in August 1947. Yes, that was the time when India also was partitioned. Pakistan was created. Violence took place. Carnage took place. Refugees moved from one part to the other. Pakistan did not immediately become an Islamic state, but already when Pakistan was created, many people in Pakistan said, Pakistan will be an Islamic state. Many refugees came from Pakistan to India. Hindu refugees, Sikh refugees, some Christian refugees. And there was violence in Pakistan, but there was also, sadly, very serious violence in India also. And there was a very strong campaign at that time that India should become a Hindu state. There was a very strong campaign in Delhi that every single Muslim in Delhi should be expelled. They've got Pakistan, let's send all the Muslims of Delhi to Pakistan. Not only should we expel all the Muslims of Delhi to Pakistan, we should destroy all the evidence of Muslim rule over India. The Qutub Minar may be a grand monument, it should go. The Lal Killa is a grand monument, that should also go. Humayun's tomb is a beautiful monument, it should go. Delhi should have no trace of Muslims, no trace of the Islamic connection. India should become a Hindu state. This was a very strong feeling in India at the time. Gandhi arrives in Delhi on September 9, 1947, 1 month and 2 days after India's 1 month and less than a month after India's independence. September 9, 1947. And there is a bid to turn Delhi into a Muslim-free city. Every Muslim should be thrown out. And you all know where Gandhi was on August 15, don't you? On August 15, the day of independence, where was Gandhi? Who can tell me? Sorry? Bihar, no. Noakhali, no. Calcutta. There's a very learned class here. He was in Calcutta. And he was in the home of a Muslim family. He was in the home of a Muslim family in a Hindu majority area. He was in the home of a threatened Muslim family. Gandhi said, I will stay with this family in a Muslim home so that Muslims may feel secure and Hindus may feel that I am there and this home should be safe and should be protected. I won't spend time on the incredible work that Gandhi did in a few weeks in Calcutta in August, September of 1947. Then he arrives in Delhi and he finds that people want to make Delhi Muslim Mukt. You've heard that phrase? Muslim Mukt, Congress Mukt, Muslim Mukt. And Gandhi says, wait a minute. Delhi belongs to all. Delhi, he said again and again and again and again, Delhi belongs to everyone. It belongs to the Parsis, it belongs to the Jews, it belongs to the Christians, it belongs to the Muslims, it belongs to the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Jains, to the atheists. India belongs to everyone. And he made it his firm commitment, not only in his prayer meeting speeches. He convened sessions of the All India Congress Committee and the Working Committee, even though he was not the president. He said, I want to speak to you all. He challenged them. Don't you see what is happening? Don't you see the killings that are taking place? Is this why we fought for our freedom? And the Congress, which was then the ruling party in India and in most states, provinces of India, in that difficult situation, when there was such hatred, such mistrust, such anger, in that situation, the Congress committed itself that India will be a state for all, where every person, every community will be given equal protection. And the Constitution was being framed. And the Constitution also put that commitment in very clear language. At that time, there were some foreign representatives in Delhi. And there is evidence of what some of these Americans representing the US government in Delhi were sending their reports back to Washington, D.C. And they wrote back saying that, oh, there is no order here in Delhi. We don't expect the soldiers or the police of the Indian state to defend the Muslims. No such prospect. But Gandhi's final 5 months in Delhi, from September to January 30, 1948, and the support that Gandhi received from Jawaharlal Nehru and from Vallabhbhai Patel, and from many others, made sure that Free India would be launched as a secular state, as a state for all. This was a far greater achievement than India's independence. So remember this as my assessment as a historian. Gandhi's 2 great feats, that Free India will have a pro-poor tilt, and Free India would belong to all and would assure equality and protection to every group, every religious group and every other group. Now, some other points about Gandhi's views on some issues. Again and again in his years and decades of work in India, Gandhi emphasized dissent. Dissent. We must have freedom to disagree. And we must have freedom to express our disagreement. You know that about the Quit India resolution that was passed in August 1942. There was a huge support for the resolution. But 13 people opposed the resolution. These were people with communist sympathies. At that time, many members of the Communist Party were also members of the Congress. So 13 members of the Congress who had communist affiliations. And remember, at that time, Soviet Union had joined hands with the British to fight Hitler. So they opposed Gandhi's Quit India resolution. Everybody else thunderously approved of the resolution. So when Gandhi began his speech after the Quit India resolution was accepted, Gandhi's first sentence was, "I want to congratulate the 13 men who opposed the resolution." He started by recognizing the importance of dissent. Then in 46, some of you know what happened in February 46. Who knows? History students? February 1946. Sorry? No, that came a little later. That came in September 46. What happened in February 46? Something happened in Bombay, in Cochin, in Vizag, in Karachi. Thank you. Naval mutiny. So the class is slow, but it comes up. In February 46, there was a naval mutiny. And who took part in the naval mutiny? Not any, there were many Indians in the Navy, there were many Indian officers. Not a single Indian officer in the Navy took part in the mutiny. All the humble workers in the Navy, they were called ratings. They took part. And some people supported the mutiny. Some workers supported the mutiny. There was a strike in the Bombay area. And then some people became very excited. And in Bombay, they stopped people on the street and said, "You must shout Jai Hind." Will you shout Jai Hind? If not, will you shout Jai Hind? Aren't you shouting Jai Hind? So when Gandhi heard of this, he sent a very strong public statement. He was in Pune at the time. He said, every time we try to compel someone to shout even a patriotic slogan, we drive a nail into Swaraj. We destroy Swaraj. Because Gandhi wanted independence not just for India, he wanted independence for every Indian. Every woman, every man, every young person, every old person, everyone in Kerala, everyone in every part of India. Freedom of expression, freedom of dissent. And again, when there were other slogans like that, Gandhi would raise his voice. He said, in Pakistan, if somebody calls God Rama or Krishna, will he be expelled from Pakistan? If somebody in India calls God Allah or Khuda or Rahim or Kareem, will we expel him or her? We will never allow that in India, said Gandhi. Freedom of dissent was an absolutely key element. Incidentally, I should mention that when Gandhi was in South Africa, he had a young friend who supported him as a white man, a man called Simmons, S-Y-M-O-N-D-S. And Simmons was very helpful to Gandhi. He died at a young age, and Gandhi was very sad when he died. And Simmons used to say to Gandhi, Gandhi, as long as you're in a minority, I will support you. If you're in a majority, I will not support you. So Gandhi was so committed to dissent from individuals or minorities. Now, some people also say, oh, Gandhi, he told the Hindus, if the Muslims come with a dagger to kill you, you should allow him to kill. If somebody comes and wants to kill your daughter or your child, you must allow them to kill. Gandhi never said that. Never once did he say that. He asked Muslims, Christians, Hindus, atheists, everyone to defend the people in their care. If necessary, even to use violence in defense of the innocent, in defense of the weak, in defense of the people in your care. It's an absolute falsehood to say. And of course, this falsehood has been spread to millions and hundreds of millions of homes, that Gandhi wanted the Hindus to become weak and impotent and allow everyone else to finish them off. It is an absolute falsehood. And there's a wonderful statement by Gandhi about the kirpan. You know, the Sikhs use the kirpan. And the kirpan has a religious significance. And Sikhs believe that to carry a kirpan is a religious duty for them. Of course, during the killings of 47, when Hindus and Muslims and Sikhs did kill each other, the kirpan was often used violently. And then Gandhi was asked this question: what is your view about protecting people? So Gandhi said, these are not his exact words, but something like this: a kirpan is a sacred weapon. A kirpan adorns its possessor only when it is used against overwhelming odds to defend the weak, the poor in your care. Yes, if the weak, the poor have to be defended and there is no other way, then you may use even violence, even a kirpan, even a weapon. This was Gandhi's view on violence and non-violence. I guess I should finish soon, because Ullekh has to speak. And all of you are very patient, but your patience is not limitless. An African American leader came to India in 46, 47, and he said to Gandhi, "You have been preaching ahimsa, non-violence, love, compassion to India for 30 years. Why is there so much violence in India today?" Because there was great violence, not only in the Pakistan part, but also in the India part. Great violence. Why, in spite of your 30-year preaching, is there so much violence? So Gandhi thought about this for a while, said it's a very important question, and I must answer it. And his answer was something like this. Gandhi said, I try to teach India two important lessons: fear not and hate not. Fear not and hate not. And the whole world, through its journalists, through its historians, has acknowledged that in India that was absolutely cowed down by fear, cowed down by British guns and tanks, had become a fear-filled nation. Suddenly it became fear-free. And millions of people said, we will defy this rule, we will embrace prison, if need be, we will embrace death. So Gandhi said, I try to teach India two lessons: fear not and hate not. They loved the first lesson, fear not. They did not like my second lesson, hate not. And Gandhi said, despite all our talk about non-violence and compassion, many Indians actually hated the white man. Hated the white man. And then Gandhi said, our hatred of the white man, when independence started to come, was transferred to a hatred of the fellow Indian. And the Hindus started to hate the Muslims, and the Muslims started to hate the Hindus. Fear not was more popular than hate not. And that is why so much violence occurred. So this explanation of Gandhi, of the violence of 47, is something that we can all be thinking about. One last thing about Gandhi. In 1915, the year when he came from South Africa to India, when he was unknown, Some people had heard about South African struggle, about Satyagraha. And there was a man whose name some of you may have heard called Indulal Yagnik. He was a Gujarati young man. Afterwards, he became a very important socialist politician. Then he was a very young man. He asked Gandhi, Gandhi, you have come from South Africa. You practice Satyagraha there. Will Satyagraha succeed in India? So Gandhi said, yes. I believe Satyagraha will work in India. Will you get many followers? Asked Yagnik. Yes, Gandhi said, I will get lots of followers. Imagine this man's confidence. He just comes, he's confident Satyagraha will succeed. He says, I will get many followers. Then Gandhi adds, I will get many followers, but a time will come when my followers will desert me. And because I will be firm with my principles, they will be so angry with me that I will have to beg for my bread and go door to door. So if Gandhi were with us today, will he be surprised that so many people attack him? Of course not. He knew that he was asking people to do something tough. To ask the British to go, but still to love the British. For Muslims and Hindus to forgive each other. Not to dwell on the terrible things that may have happened in the past, but to dwell on the wonderful things that also happened in the past, and the wonderful things that can still happen and still happen today. So Gandhi would not have been surprised. Finally, what must we do today? First of all, we must speak out. We must speak out. If we are unhappy about CAB, NRC, the move on Kashmir, anything wrong that we feel is wrong takes place, we must clearly and fearlessly speak out. Whether we are students, whether we are teachers, whether we are journalists, whether we are historians, as citizens, whether we are men, women, old or young, we must absolutely speak out. The conscience is the key. As Solzhenitsyn used to say, one word of truth is a very strong weapon. One word of truth is a very strong weapon. First thing that citizens must always be willing to do is to speak out. And the second thing we must do is to show solidarity towards those who are attacked. If Muslims are attacked, Christians are attacked, Dalits are attacked, Adivasis are attacked, anyone who is attacked, wherever we are, we must show absolute solidarity with those who are attacked. If we speak the truth, and if we show solidarity with those who are attacked, victory is absolutely certain. Thank you.